Hi everyone, I'm Katrina and today I'm going to be doing the first date book tag. This tag was created by Kate's Book Date and the creator also tagged me, so thank you very much, Kate. It's basically a series of 10 different first date situations and then you pick a book that relates to that in some way. So let's jump straight into it. The Awkward First Date. A book where something just felt off. It wasn't necessarily a bad book, but they just lacked that spark for you. Heartless by Marissa Meyer. This is one that I did enjoy, but I just didn't love it as much as I was expecting. I was expecting to absolutely fall in love with this book, just based on my adoration of the Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer. I just didn't really feel a connection to the characters or even the romance, and the plot was cute, but I just wasn't really as invested as I thought I would be, so it was awkward. The Cheap First Date, a book that turned out less than you expected. This one's probably a bit of an unpopular opinion, and I'm gonna say the Model Insurance Series by Cassandra Clare. I went into it with really high expectations and those expectations weren't exactly met. Well Prepared First Date, a book that was better than expected. For this one I'm going to say The First 15 Lives of Harry August by Claire North. And for this one I went into it really not knowing much about the book at all. I'd been recommended it by a friend who said it was really good, they really enjoyed it. Even hearing that they really liked it, I went into it not with really high expectations, so when I ended up really loving the book, I was just kind of blown away. I mean, it was much better than I anticipated. The Hot but Dumb Date. A really pretty book, but not so hot on the inside. Shiver by Maggie Stiefvater. I love the covers of this one. Did not enjoy the book. Sadly, I just wasn't my thing. The Blind Date, a book that you went into not knowing anything about. For this one I'm going to say The Colour Purple by Alice Walker. This is a book that I read last year in my banned bookathon, readathon, so during Banned Books Week, because I'd heard it had been banned, and all that I knew aside from that was that it featured a female black main character. I knew nothing else. Not about the story is about, anything else about the character or any of the other characters. That was all I knew. And I really enjoyed it. Speed Dating, a book that you read super fast. Either Illuminae or Gemina by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. The two of these books are quite chunky. They're probably over 600 pages long each. I'm not 100% sure, but I know that they are very chunky books. Despite the size of the book, it's really fast reading it for a few reasons. First of all, the way in which it's written, as it's kind of a dossier of files. So there's like instant messages, emails, video transcripts, and really like interesting and artistic ways of using typography, so there's not continuous blocks of text on every page, so there's a lot less to read in that sense, as well as the fact that I just fell in love with the characters and the plot, and it was just incredibly fast paced, and there's just so many twists and turns that you just can't stop flipping those pages. You need to know what happens next. I've read both of those books a couple of times now, and at least for one of those readings each, I probably was able to read it in a couple of sittings. It's very quick to get through. The Rebound, a book that you read too soon after a book hangover that it kind of ruined that book for you. Nothing's coming to mind, so instead I'm going to share a book that I didn't really enjoy and didn't end up finishing because I was in a reading slump. So I mean, kind of similar-ish, like you can fall into reading slumps because of book hangovers. That book is Clockwork Prince by Cassandra Clare, the second book in the Infernal Devices series. Just bad timing with this one. The Overly Enthusiastic Date, a book that felt like it was trying too hard. For this one, I'm actually going to go with a series, and that's the Immortals series by Alison Noel. This is a 6-book series, and the first one I liked. I think books 2 to 4, they were okay. I think I gave them maybe like 3-star ratings, and then I think the last 2 books I probably gave 2 stars, maybe 1 star. The reason why I'm saying this series is because it just was trying too hard to draw out the story. It just got to the point where it was really repetitive, or at least it felt like nothing was happening. The Perfect First Date, a book that did everything right for you. It's really hard choosing just one for this. I'm gonna go with Vicious by V.E. Schwab. This is a really character-driven book, and even still I didn't find that, for me anyway, the pacing was too slow. I really enjoyed the plot, but just the characters were so on point and so developed, and I just loved it. The Humiliating First Date, a book that you're embarrassed to say that you liked, or you're embarrassed to read in public for whatever reason. So with this one, it's like I'm not embarrassed to have read it. Instead of talking about a book that I'm embarrassed to have read and enjoyed, I'm going to mention a book that I read absolutely loved, and since then have realized that I was really blind to one of the major problems with the book, and that is All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven. And the main issue with this one is that it romanticizes mental illness. That is it for the first date book tag. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I am going to tag a few people. I think I'm going to tag some of my fellow Aussie booktubers. So let's say Chammy from Reeled Like Wildfire, Sam Barnes, Piera Ford, and Lily from Lily C Reads. I tag you guys to do the first date book tag. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you tomorrow with a new video. So until next time, I'll talk to you in the comments. Bye!